Hello, my name is James D. Lee. I am a Warner Brothers Discovery investor stockholder. And yesterday, David Zaslav and Gunther Bienenfeld had a meeting with all of us about the fiscal situation with Warner Brothers. Now, I have seen some posts by magazines and I've seen some posts by YouTubers and stuff about it. And, you know, I'd listen to you. I did. But then I had to go listen to what David Zaslav and them actually said. Now, I was not available to go to it live, so I had to listen to it today. But let's just clarify something, okay? Because this was troubling. When they stated they were focusing on DC Comics and they were focusing on turning that around, let's be clear. They have no intention of doing anything at DC Comics. It's the movies. Okay? They don't give a rat's butt about DC Comics. DC Comics right now is hemorrhaging like never before. Okay, that's the truth. DC Comics, the comic book company, is a cluster disaster. Okay, when Aquaman was canceled last year, if you didn't know, yes, Aquaman's comic book was canceled before the movie came out because it only sold 6,000 copies before in issue 6. 6,000 copies. Okay, so that means nobody gave a rat's butt about that movie. Nobody gave a rat's butt about anything that DC was doing. When you have sales that are so bad that it's affecting movies, then you have a serious problem. And this is something David Zaslav and Gunther Bienenfeld refused to even bring up. This is what they're hiding, as if to say, there's nothing wrong over here. Just focus on the movies and our entertainment things. No, this is something that needs to be fixed. Because let me explain something real simple, real easy, okay? Without the comic books, without the comic book fans and the readers, you movies will tank, will fail, will bomb. Don't believe me? Let's look at some movies in the past. The Flash, okay? That comic book was canceled. Plus, you have an actor that was so unhinged that nobody wanted to go see that movie, and it bombed. Let's look at Black Adam, shall we? Black Adam. The comic book at the time that Black Adam came out was only selling barely 15,000 copies. Not very many people knew who Black Adam was. People knew who The Rock was. Then you throw in Dr. Fate, who hasn't had his own comic book in a long time, and then you throw in two derivative ripoff of Marvel characters, and you race swap another character on top of that, and it is a full receipt of a disaster. But again, comic book sales below 15,000 copies. Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle's comic book, as far as I know, hasn't sold much anything. Nobody knows Blue Beetle. He's not even a mainstream character. But oh my God, we're going to make a movie of Blue Beetle. What the hell? Really? You thought that was wise? No, that was stupid. So now we're talking, oh, we're going to do all this new stuff with DC Comics. No, you're not. You're going to make movies. You're going to ignore fans. You're going to ignore comic book readers, and they're going to tell you to stick it. Don't believe me? AMC just raised their prices to $18.95 for a ticket because they're so desperate to make money off movies. They can't rely on movie theaters right now. Okay? And if you want another example, look at Madam Web. Who the hell is Madam Web? You had to go all the way back to an issue that was printed over 25 years ago, and she was only in the books for how long? Nobody knew her. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to see the movie. It bombed. If you're going to make superhero movies, one, make it with characters people know and love. Two, support it with the comic books. DC Comics used to sell 105 million copies of comic books. This is a fact. Every year. Used to. Not anymore. Not even close. Go look. Not even close to that. Not even close to half of that. What's wrong? It's real simple. You forgot what worked. You forgot what's important. And you forgot one other thing. If you don't make profit, you go out of business. Now, yes, we have great cash on hand and we've increased cash on hand. But if you continue down this road, sooner or later it's going to bite you in the butt. And we're already seeing it with the movies on the returns. And let's bring up something else about the movies you brought up. Okay, missed their mark. The color purple. The color purple was not going to be successful when it first came out. Everybody knew that. Didn't even make it back to budget. Aquaman, good luck. You have to be smart with what you're doing. The people in Warner Brothers, you're smart, but you cannot ignore what works. You cannot ignore DC Comics anymore. As much as I respect Jim Lee, as much as a fan of his artwork, who I think he's the greatest, my personal greatest comic book artist of all time, as the head of DC Comics, he has done a unbelievably destructive, pathetic, unimaginable damage to the company. He hasn't been a great leader for nothing. That company, it's a complete disaster. You need to get in there and fix that now. Or your Superman movie that you're praising that James Gunn's going to do? Yes, James Gunn, I'm talking to you too. I don't care how good a movie you make. Without the comic book fans, they're not going to show up. Without the comic books, your movie's dead on arrival. Now, streaming service. We keep losing advertisers. We're continually losing advertisers. Why? Because nobody cares. Nobody's watching your stuff. You're not putting out stuff that people want. And we're having to wait 2 to 3 years in between for a program like House of the Dragon. Come on, guys. Think stuff. Get stuff going every month so people can sit there and watch. Take note of, I'm going to say it, Crunchyroll and High Dive. They get new anime. Do they drop it all at once? No, they don't. They spread it out. So there's always something new coming out every week. Take note of it. Watch it. Understand it. I mean, right now you're not. And what are you guys going to do? Okay. Yes, streaming can go. Yes, we have what is it, almost 100 million people on worldwide? That's fantastic. But you got to have programming to keep them there, or they're going to drop out. You got to have programming. Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling's, thank you. Thank you for understanding that Harry Potter is worth a lot of money. Thank you for understanding that getting J.K. Rowling involved to keep it real, keep it on track is exactly what we need. But don't screw it up. My point is this. As somebody who has 27 years as business management, if you do not focus on profit-driven stories, profit-driven movies, profit-driven comics, you're going to fail. Do not fail. Okay? If you want to see failure, look at Disney. Look at Perlmutter and Peltz. Sorry, I do apologize, Mr. Peltz. I butchered your name. But look at what they're doing. If you don't want that to happen at WB, I suggest you focus more on getting things fixed, getting things on track, and continually doing what needs to be done. Because if you don't think what's going on over Disney won't happen at WB. It will. We have a strong leadership team, but we have a lot of work to fix things. And frankly, I know for a fact I sent you a letter, Mr. Zaslav, 2 weeks ago, expressing my concerns, expressing what I believe could help turn around everything at Warner Brothers. Take it seriously, because let's face it, right now, you need all the help you can get. Again, my name is James Lee. I'm a WB investor, And yes, I care about this company. And yes, our management team, David Zaslav, the rest of the team are doing a good job, but they can do better. And they need to focus on all aspects of the company.